The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome back to another episode of Probably Podcast. We've got literally, I would say my favorite, but she's y'all's favorite, okay? Like literally Jenncia Thompson on the ones and twos. You love her. I love her. I love her more. But obviously. But like everyone,
I think I love me more.
No, nobody loves Jennica like Jennica. Nobody.
You have to love me first.
You have to love me first. You have not been on the podcast. I was talking to Courtney about this.
This is actually crazy.
This is crazy. And we're going to get into it a little bit because if you don't know, Jennica is one of my dearest friends. We've known each other for about 8 years now. She lives in Nashville. She's an icon. She's a legend. She's everything and more. Like literally unfollow me, follow her. Okay. Like she's everything.
There's room for all.
There's room for all of us. But she's just an icon. I thought to myself, I don't want to go too much into like how you got where you are today and whatever. And then I thought, well, I don't know. It has been almost 2 years, I feel like, since you've been on the podcast. Or am I crazy? And Courtney said the first podcast episode that you were on with me, which is the only other one, was episode 33. And this is which is how old you are. Oh my God, iconic. And this episode will be episode 134. So 101 episodes later. No Dalmatians.
There's a lot to unpack.
But there's a lot that's happened, okay? In 101 episodes. So anyways, that is about 2 years, 52 episodes. Yeah. 52 weeks in a year. It's really good to have you back. Love of my life. You just celebrated a birthday.
I'm happy to be here. I love my birthday. I'm one of those girls that like every single year, and maybe it was because I did become a mom so young. Like when I turned 18, I just like was like, okay, I get to be 18. Like I get to be 18. I don't get to have I get to also be this age. And then when I turned 21, when I turned 25, and I've just been excited. You've been excited. Every single year. But that's the goal, right? To keep turning these numbers.
Beats the hell out of the alternative.
I'm happy to make it to 33.
My grandpa used to say that every time. Another year older beats the hell out of the alternative.
Exactly.
I'm like, God rest his soul. Or actually, my grandfather lived to be 97. He used to go, I said, how do you do in Paul? He's so pretty good for a young fella. Like, love you.
I'm going to put that in my pocket.
I'll put that one in your pocket. Okay, so everyone's a fan of you. But for those of you who do not know who Jennica is, like, you're crazy, but bring me back to how, so Jennica has a very, very, very successful YouTube channel, over 300,000 subscribers, correct? Yes. With her daughter, Annica. And just so you guys are aware, like, I know you guys know, and I'm not like telling you anything new, to have 300,000 subscribers on YouTube is so fucking hard. Do you guys get the plaques from YouTube?
Yes, we have the 100,000 plaque. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's like right when you walk in my room. It's like a trophy to me. I mean, because truly that YouTube channel is my little baby. Like we have so much fun with it, and it started as something so fun. And she was like, my daughter is that age where they were the kind of first generation that they were on YouTube.
They were the YouTube
all the
kids.
time. And so I was just, because we were also so close in age, I also wanted to make sure I was watching what she watched. I just became a YouTube girl myself. And once I realized like, there's actually girls that are creating content that I would enjoy too. And it just became such an integration in both of our lives. And we really just started for fun. Yeah. And it was so fun. It still is so fun. Like I can't imagine it any other way now.
When I met Jennica, well, we love to tell this funny story. I'll make it quick. Whenever I met Jennica, we were at a party. She was telling some really funny story because it was the summertime and it was really hot. And she was saying like, oh my God, yeah, my daughter knows. And immediately I clocked it because like at that time we would have been like 23, 25. Yeah. And we were on the rooftop. So I immediately clocked like, oh wow, she's got a daughter. Okay. Like young mom, like, okay, you know, she got a 1 or 2 year old at home. And she was like, yeah, my daughter knows when I get hot, like she brings mom a fan because she knows I don't play with being hot.
I turned into a different person.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, just picturing this cute little 3-year-old toddler being like, mama, here's the fan. And I was like, so cute. And then she's like, she had said something, we were just trying to talk about it. I'm like, it was either like she gets up and gets me a glass of ice water or something.
Like something that she says after, or make sure that I'm like good, or gives me a fan. I don't know.
It was something very advanced. And I was like, damn. This toddler's like kind of a prodigy. Like that's crazy. And then I said like, oh, so cute. Like how old is she? And she was like, she's 12. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then immediately Jennica just said this, like I disassociated and I was talking to her like, so fun. Oh my gosh, what a fun age. But all I was doing is like, she's 12. If she, and you stopped me. You said I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah. Because I'd hate to see people doing math in their heads.
It's tough to watch.
It's tough to watch. And me, I'm no mathematician, so she probably literally saw smoke coming out of my ears.
She was trying to figure it out.
I don't understand. So Jennica had her daughter at 14.
Yes, 14. And that was kind of the age where when I would say like from 7 to probably like 14 people, because I did look at that point, I was in my 20s, so I could have had a child for sure.
Sure.
They would say, oh, months?
Right.
I'm like, no.
She's 11 months?
No. She's 14 months?
Not quite.
No, we're almost getting our permit license.
She has just taken her driver's test. Yep. Nope.
So now when I say 18 months, I wonder if it'll go back because 18 months is a very.
Oh my gosh.
But 18 is.
Let me tell you, Jennica, it's going to go back.
It's going to go back.
Because people say
Probably
that about
until
kids.
about 24.
Because people say that about kids. By the way, I know I'm not a mom and I don't get this kind of shit, but when I ask people how old their kid
I
is.
can't do the math.
Tell
me the year.
Dude, like, just every time you talk to someone, think maybe they're dumb. Like, maybe they're dumb. I shouldn't say 22 months. Just say she's a little over a year.
Yes.
Wait, no. She's almost
She's
2.
a toddler. Just give me
She's almost 2. Like, God, just, do you see?
Yes,
like
18
I can't
months.
Do it.
Well, I know 24 is 2, so
Yeah,
it's almost
she's
there.
close
That's
to
half.
2.
That's a year and a half.
She's a year and a half. Say that.
Say that.
Take
Please
care of
for
the dumb
me.
people in your life.
Please for me.
Like me. So anyway, yeah, I'm sure it's going to revert.
I bet it will.
So, okay. So talk to me about how you became a young mother that you always loved YouTube because of Annica.
Yeah.
But you worked corporate jobs. You were a single mom.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I always worked any type of job. Like I really thought that I would be able to like graduate, and I got like junior year and I was like, okay, she's like 8 now. I need to get a job. And so I was very much like, I loved being in the corporate world. I had a good time with it, but I just knew that I needed something else. Like, I mean, this day and age, you just really like one income wasn't doing it for me. And I really thought,
you're so creative. You needed an outlet.
Yeah, I didn't have so much of like, I thought it might cover groceries, but really truly like I was just so excited to have this footage of us. Like my footage of her doesn't really start until she was like 8. I mean, I have some clips of when she was younger than that, but like nothing because iPhones really weren't even that.
No, they weren't.
I mean, the iPhone 1 came out when she was like probably 2. So like I just don't have any clips of her voice. I don't have any, like and I knew even from like 8, I was like, I have got to start capturing these. I want these braces on camera. Like I want to be able to remember all of this. So I think the nostalgia in me combined with like the creativity, I just was like, this is so fun.
Me and producer Courtney were just talking about how like beautiful and magical it would be to just have this permanent scrapbook of like true videos and montages. Like. And because you edit them so beautifully, it's literally like home videos are fun to watch. We just watched them with James's family. They were so cute. But it's literally like shaky footage of someone being like, you watch it and there are multiple times where we're like, who's gonna say it? I'm not, because I just joined the family, but someone's got to say, can we fast forward it? Like who's gonna do it? Like we could fast forward this part because it's just like so continuous. So to have these like beautiful glossy edited clips, it's just like watching a movie.
Yeah, I would give anything to like have, like, if you're a new mom, please listen to me. Like I would give anything to have just like a 5-minute video of me putting the camera up and like us making breakfast in the morning from like when she was 5.
Yeah,
like I would give anything to have, or even if I had footage of me just like holding her when she was a baby. Like I don't have any of like footage in the rocking chair. Like it doesn't matter how you're not gonna look back and look at your messy bun. Like,
well, you don't have to post it. Like
it's for you. Yeah, truly. Like I wish I would have had all these things for me, and everything that I do have, like all the little funny things I do, I cherish so much, and I just wish that they were longer than little 30-second Instagram story clips. You know?
Right. So how did you make the move from corporate world to doing full-time YouTube? I was there.
Yeah, it was so fun. I mean, I think that also I put myself through what I like to call YouTube University.
Yeah.
You can really, truly teach yourself. I preach this all the time. You can teach yourself anything on YouTube. And I love it, love it, love it. And you can also like find the styles of editing and things that you like. So I remember when I first started looking at how people vlogged and things, I was like, I don't recognize any of this LA stuff. Like I've never been to California. I don't know. So I just searched Nashville vlogs. Yeah. And I would watch things that I was like recognizable for me to kind of see how people set up stories. And I do love I love the storytelling of it. Mm-hmm. So I really just put myself through like, okay, how do we make this enjoyable? How can we bring this income in to cover groceries? Or how can this be fun for us, but also beneficial for us? And I finally took one of our clips and put it over on TikTok, and it went viral on TikTok.
I will never forget what she called me. She's like,
I have 3 million views.
She's like, I have so many. She's like, and the TikTok directs everyone to our YouTube. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, iconic.
Yeah.
And then it just happened. And the day you went full time, I'll never forget it. You had a beautiful corporate job that you loved.
Yes, I did love.
But this version of you is just so fun.
But I knew these years with Annica, like I really truly like wouldn't get back. Like she truly was like 14. So I was like, she's about to double time need me. Yeah. And if this is an option and I've been working so hard for this, like this is what I worked hard for.
Now, I have been taking Seed DSO1 for a while now, so I could really, really speak to the results that I'm seeing. I know you guys are actually like legitimate over, maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, she's just like us. She poops. But like, I think gut health is so important. And lately I've just been having some issues, and nothing helps more than just staying consistent with my Seed DS-01. It genuinely is such a great symbiotic, and it's like a probiotic and a prebiotic mix. We love that. It's formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strands to support whole body benefits, including, like I mentioned, gut health, but also skin health. Like I've noticed my skin's better from it. You've got heart health in there. You got immune health. Lord knows the flu is going around. Like we need to keep our immune up in this February season. Gut barrier integrity, gut microbiome balance. Like you guys, I'm a scientist, okay? Micronutrient synthesis, and all just 2 capsules a day. So DS-01 is formulated with strands clinically validated to reduce abdominal bloating and intermittent constipation after 2 weeks. Now, I've never been like a real big person on bloating. I know that you guys are rolling your eyes about saying that. Maybe I am bloated and I just don't know. But something I do get is intermittent constipation every once in a while. So after 2 weeks, you truly feel a difference. And it includes strains shown to support clearer, healthier looking skin in as little as 12 weeks. Now, I do think you need to stay consistent with it. Anything like this is just like consistency is key. But it's loved by all their members, okay? 92% of members have recommended DS-01 to a friend or family member. That's me. I was recommended it by a friend, and now I recommend it to everyone. I just love it. And it's really shown to increase that good gut bacteria by 4.6 times. Like that's just huge. It really is. I can tell a genuine difference in my regularity as far as going to the bathroom when I take it. It's tried and true, baby, okay? So easy to set into your daily routine. I just take mine in the morning, boom, get it done. And if you guys want to get ahead of the new year with a routine that helps you now, go to seed.com/probably and use code probably to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed DS-01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/probably. Code probably.
So I got this one comment that was like, it wasn't meant to be in a mean way at all, but I was like, okay, I need to like take that into consideration because we do have a whole episode. If you guys want to go back to episode 33 with Jennica, we talk a lot about growing up in a small town, being a young teen mom, you and your, the father of Annica. What do you say that? The father of your child?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Okay. You and him split early on. Yes. So like, how was that? Like all of that information is in episode 33 because someone was like, can you talk more? I want to know about Jennica. Like I know so much about teen mom Jennica. I want to know about Jennica. So I have a lot of questions. If you don't mind.
I love talking about one thing about me. I'm an Aquarius, Libra, Leo, and I will talk about myself.
One thing about me, I literally could talk to Jennica, and we do for 6 hours straight. We can't stop. We can't get enough. I literally love talking to you. This could be 2 parts in us coming in hot.
This is my favorite thing to do. Like I'm the type of friend that we could go have dinner. We could go. We've been to different countries together.
Sure.
But if you call me and you say, hey, on Tuesday, I'm cleaning out my closet. I want nothing more than to be on that closet floor.
When I tell you
hours.
For so long, it's even better now because you live closer. I need to start really taking you up on this more often because like I would be like, hey, I have some like atrocious amount of organizing to do, and my ADHD brain like can't do it if I'm only just focusing on organizing. I'm like, I'm bored. But like
we
if
have
I'm
it together.
Talking to you, I'm like, you don't have to lift a finger. But if I'm talking to you, we just talk to me while I do this. And she's like, sure. And it's the best thing ever. Okay.
We have so much fun. Okay.
Let's get into, let's talk about, you just started a podcast with Annica.
Yes.
Okay. Could not be more of a fan. Are you guys kind of keeping this car podcast theme?
Yeah, so we started it out like this because we really want it. Again, it goes back to the nostalgia of it all. Like I'm 33 now. She's 18. We're in such like pivotal like moments of our life, and to have just conversations recorded like mother and daughter like this,
right.
I love having them. But we were actually just talking about this last episode because we've had to, the car has to be off. Because the sound is nice because it does like encapsulate. You're like in a little pod.
I never thought about that.
No wind, like it, because wind.
On tour, we should do one in the car.
It's nice. The windows in cars like are wind resistant up to like 60 or something miles an hour. It works nice for acoustics.
She's thought about this, guys.
But once we have to have the air conditioner on,
girl,
we ain't gonna be able to do it. So it really, like, we started out feeling like, you know, when you get home from a long day of shopping with your mom, or in the car from the grocery store, and you kind of just sit in the driveway for that extra 30 minutes and you just chat. That's kind of what we saw. So nice. And you know what's so funny? Like, I honestly don't do that with my mom very often, but you and that's a telltale sign that you and Annica are like, you have the perfect balance of being friends. Yes.
And you could talk about it in episode 33 if you guys want to go back, but like, that balance of being your daughter's friend,
Yeah.
but also being like a mother, you do it so beautifully. Obviously they have a different situation because like at the end of the day, like you are just a cooler mom. Like that is absolutely no shade to my mom.
The overlap is just there.
The overlap's just there with the years, you know, like I just like wouldn't like
we have so many of the same interests. I mean,
Yeah.
like so many of the same art, like we listen to the same music, we're wearing the same clothes, like
Right.
And
so,
she's like kind of getting an even better wardrobe these days. I'm like going into her
she's
closet.
slaying.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that moment where you're just like, you know, you sit in the car with your mom for the next 30 minutes. I'm like, not really. No, but I know what you mean because whenever me and Taylor park the car, I'm like, can we just sit for a sec? Yeah, 100%. So you started it that way, and it's just been. Have you liked the process so far?
We have loved it. Where there are lots of learning about sounds and mics because it is so different. I knew that I could figure it out with knowing YouTube, and so it's been fun learning. But there have been learnings.
Curves, yeah.
We're only on episode 8, and I'm like, oh, if we started now, it would be a totally different. Like the quality. I've already had so many learnings, but it really is so fun.
It's so fun. I love that. I'm a listener, and I think it's just great. I can't wait to you guys.
It gives like people I'm sure feel the same with your Instagram versus podcast. You just really do get the detail of behind the story or behind the photo that you posted.
Right. Because even with YouTube, you're like, I understand that the attention span is not there for that long
I'm creating
form.
a visual story there.
Right. Yeah, long form content is something people really like to listen to just tune off. Like people listening to this right now are probably on the way to work, they're probably doing their makeup. They just need to hear something that's just like, blasé.
Yeah, I can't be in my own head. I need a podcast. I need an audio, but I need somebody talking to me at all times.
Same. Okay, speaking of books, you just finished Onyx Storm. Everyone wants to know, oh my gosh, you're so cute. If you go to her Instagram, she was like doing the Target runs to try to find, and I'm dead at Annica, like really sticking up for you. Like they shouldn't have let people get more than one.
Oh, she was
That's where they messed
going
up.
back and forth in line and like side-eyeing people for us.
It is crazy. Like, just get one, dude. Get one.
I really went to 4 Targets before 10 a.m. Like, within 2 hours of Target being open, I had gone to 4 Targets, and there wasn't any. Like, that's a little crazy.
That's crazy. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah. It was wonderful. It was perfect. I have no complaints. It makes me even more excited. I'm in a reread right now.
You're rereading it immediately.
Well, the first time you read through, like, for me, I was just so excited to, like, figure out what was going on and, like, already rereading it, I'm not even halfway through and it feels like a different book.
You just said something really funny on your socials about reading this book, and I couldn't relate more on your level. Mm-hmm. You said you were reading the book with your friend Maddie, who's a lawyer, amazing and very smart and intelligent, obviously. And you were like, oh my God, I literally love reading the same book with a smart person because you and I are the same.
Oh, I'm just like enjoying the book.
There was like a random part. I'm listening to the book right now and I'm not deep in it at all, but you were like, there's this one part where he goes through a closet and I just thought, oh, weird, they did that. And she's like, and then Maddie will be like, isn't it interesting that he went down to the closet because obviously he knew that he would do this, and you're like, oh
my God,
I didn't even think about that.
So it's so much more enjoyable going through this time.
You're like, I love it. So now you're going through it. That's really funny. Because I just like to read, just like if something doesn't make sense to me, like I'm just not gonna go backwards and be like, what was that? Unless I really wasn't paying attention. Then I'm like, wait, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. But
I do like to hyperfixate, but I also don't like. I'm not that. I like to take things with how they were served to me.
It's also already a pretty hard book to digest.
I'm like, wonderful. Yeah. Whatever she says, great. Love. I don't need to imagine anything else.
Love. Like when she's like, from the spirit of Tyrannian and da-da-da-da, and I prayed to this God. I'm not like, what's that God again? I'm like, I believe her. I trust you.
I know. And now when they're bopping around to all the different places, now that I know what they're doing, like I just feel like it is so enjoyable this time around.
It's really nice, but I also it's something that Toast says all the time, but it's trust your faves. Yes. Like, I trust you guys. Like wherever you say you're going on your dragon, I trust you. Yes. I don't need to think where on the map is that. I trust you.
And I'm going to have fun going there with you.
Yeah, I'll be there with you, babe.
It was truly. It felt, because I only have, it's been like a 6-month journey for me with Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and the series. There's going to be 5 books total, but like there have been people waiting years. Maddie included.
So true.
And so I feel lucky that I kind of got into it.
Right.
Like at a good time where I truly wasn't waiting that long.
Yeah.
Whereas now like it is going to be like an over a year wait for the next.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Alex Cross because it started in like 1992.
Forever, yes,
and so I got to read 33 books. And I was like, now I'm waiting. Now it's just every year a new one comes out. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
I know. It's the first thing that has felt like it's gotten me as excited as Harry Potter.
Right.
And that was my personality for my whole life.
I thought Iron Flame was a little slow.
Super slow.
Didn't need to be as long as it was.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way about Onyx or no?
No, I said that I felt like Iron Flame would be my Goblet of Fire. Like I just don't go to that one. Like I don't. Okay. I like it. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's nice. But I'm not going to pick up those and reread that one. Like I'll go to Fourth Wing all the time. Yeah. I think that I'll go to Onyx Storm all the time.
Wow.
Too.
Okay. I love that.
It's just exciting. Like and now that I know that nothing like spoiler maybe devastating happens, because I was expecting maybe something just
well, if there's
devastating
two more books, nothing too devastating has to happen, you know. I think it's real. Maybe she listened, you know, because a lot of people's thoughts were like that book was really long. Anna Grace was listening to it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm listening to Iron Flame now. She's like, stick with it, just stick with it. You
can get through the first part, it really is.
And then I got to the second part of it, I was like, love, but yeah, it was just a bit slow. So maybe she took that into consideration.
Who doesn't love the finer things in life? Let me tell you, if you've been listening to this podcast or you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I'm just really obsessed with the finer things. I like things. I'm the consumer, okay? And so even though, as you guys know, I enjoy a little luxury, it doesn't mean that I'm always trying to drop the dough to afford luxury pieces. And that is until I discovered Quince. Now, Quince is my go-to for luxury essentials at affordable prices. They have so many things you guys would like die. Quince offers a range of high-quality items at prices within reach. I'm serious, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters. I'm obsessed with their cashmere. If you ever see me wearing cashmere and I say, which like, I feel like you can't wear cashmere without telling people, this is cashmere. Feel this, it's cashmere. It's always going to be Quince because they start at $50, okay? They've got washable silk tops and dresses. I'm really trying to be better about what materials I put on my body, like cashmere, silk, organic cotton. These are great things to put on your body. And they have organic cotton sweaters as well. They've got 14 karat gold jewelry. And the best part is all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And that is because they cut out the middleman, which is great. They partner directly with these top factories. And so then the cost of the middleman is gone and they pass on the savings to us, which is so nice. And my favorite thing about Quince, they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I really appreciate that, like the ethics behind the company. Knowing you're getting such a premium quality item at such a low price can sometimes raise like questions. And nope, their ethics are on par. They're amazing. Safe factories, ethical, responsible manufacturing. We just love that. So I'm personally obsessed with their cashmere boat neck. Like I love that cut on me. But if you need to get a gift for someone, why not give the gift of cashmere? They will think you're so cool. They'll be like, oh my God, my friend's so rich. She got me cashmere for my birthday. It's just a great, great place to get these affordable luxury pieces. So give yourself or someone else the luxury that you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/probably for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/probably to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/probably.
All right. People want to know. They always ask this. What? I wrote next to the question, LOL. It said dating life. We want to know about our dating life.
LOL.
One thing about Jennica is we beg her every year. We say, what if this year you kissed one boy? And she said, what if I fucking didn't?
Yeah, I said, I might make out with somebody and I might not.
What if I didn't?
But I probably won't.
Musty ass son.
Yeah, I just, people do love to ask women in their 30s about dating, and especially single women, obviously.
Yeah.
Show me to me.
Show me to me, Rachel.
Show me to me, Rachel. Literally. Like, the things that I've seen don't make me want to date.
Literally. No, like.
When someone says, hey, I want to. Honestly, I don't even know when they're going to be able to say that to me. I feel like if it ever happens for me, which I'm not opposed, but like, kind of. It will be like a friend of a friend. It's like, this person. But I'm okay.
You're just not super pursuant is the thing.
And I have.
Which is why the perfect person will come to you, because you're not like reeking of desperation. You're actually reeking of like, do not enter.
I feel like I need somebody older. Like, and I also don't want to have any more kids. So like, I don't want somebody that thinks that I'm going to have more kids. Like, they can have kids themselves or be okay with not having any. I definitely think that I will help raise other children, so I'll be happy to have children in my home, but shop's closed for me personally. And so it is that's gonna have to be something on the table. And I feel like I need to give men in their 30s a little more time to simmer that. And I'm okay with not dating until I'm like 50.
Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love my husband. He is everything to me. When I found out he was the same age as me, biggest ick.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been a bigger ick. I said, this isn't gonna work long term.
Surely not.
Yeah. Okay. Period. All right. Now let's talk about moving. Do you have any plans to move anytime soon? Because I know there was on the table.
Yes.
Because Annica, when she turned 18, she really wanted to move to New York. Now I don't know if things have changed because now she's so involved in this work.
Eating it up.
I mean, she's obsessed. She's so good at what she does. She works at a prom store, but then she also goes to market for.
I mean, she's loving.
She's in chaos. Yeah. She's right where she needs to be.
Exactly. And she's learning so much from this job. She just has a wonderful, wonderful job. And yeah, my plan always was going to be probably to just bop around wherever she ended up. And if that ended up being, Knoxville, or if that ended up being still in that, wherever that ended up being, I was going to be there for at least, the next few years. You don't just like stop needing your mom at 18.
No. By the way.
And if you can still have the option to live with your mom at 18, like I think a lot of us would choose to maybe stay a few years.
The way, like, I think about how many times I called my mom. Well, of course I still call her all the time. But the times I called her, like, because I truly need her financially, emotionally, like, truly, like, to my core, like, could not live without her. Yeah. Would hyperfixate, like, what would I do without her? What would I do without her? Like, I would say 27.
I've always wanted to live in a city. So, like, I've inched my way as close to Nashville as I can. Yeah. But, so I've never known what was going to be next for 18. Well, when we went to New York when she was 15 or 16, she was like, this is it. Yeah. This is it. And I was like, no, this is it. This is it. All I care about in life is, like, all I've ever wanted to do is live in a city. So, like, I was, especially with it being New York City, I was even more thrilled. But truly, this job came so unexpectedly, it's lit up her world. Not often that you find a job that you like. She
at her age
loves this job, and she is truly learning so much. And it's just like I don't need to move there. Yet I do feel like at some point in my life I will live there for at least a year or two.
I got the Rangers jerseys in the closet for you, baby.
It just is. And I also don't mind like Boston or Chicago. Like I want to live in a city at some point, but I'm down to keep being with her for a minute.
Right. For those of you who don't know, my apartment that I had in New York, we did do the math. It was really sad for me, but not sad for me because I was very happy because Jennica and Annica were going to New York a lot. And I would just be like, stay at my place, because I just felt so disgusted that I had this very expensive apartment in New York in Soho and I like just didn't fucking use it. But like we did do the math at the end of it and they did spend more time there than I did. So,
well, I will say that like truly
there's that.
Mine and Annica's like if we had to do a top 5 core memory, you'd be in like two of the top 2. That trip, we got stranded in New York one time over Christmas, and if we wouldn't have been able to stay at your apartment, like I don't know what we were for 2 weeks. Like I stormed down the mountains, like we couldn't drive home, we couldn't get home. True. And I don't know what we would have done. But B, it being a home, like it being Christmas
not
Day,
a hotel. That's
like
so
it
true.
It just felt, and it was stuff from Nashville too. Like it just felt home. It just felt.
You could say like we want to go outside. I'm like, oh, tell Annica to grab my puffer out of the closet.
Yes,
like yeah, you guys
were wearing your clothes.
Yeah,
we lived there by the end of it. Because our suitcases it was a whole thing. But truly, like that was, if you probably sat Annica down and said like, what is your favorite thing you've ever done with your mom? It would be those 2 weeks in New York or. Your wedding is our Roman Empire.
You know what? I just talked about the wedding with Lucio. People were like, can you not talk about the wedding too much?
But no, honestly, get over it.
No.
Get over it. Annica and I talk about it, if not every day, weekly.
Do you know who says that they talk about it a lot? And I'm like, I don't believe you. Taylor and Mike are like, we often just look at each other and are like, but Shannon's wedding, but that trip to Italy. And I go, are you for real?
And she's like, yes. Because there's so many different things to talk about. We'll spend the whole day talking about just the boat ride for the welcome party. And then sometimes I just close my eyes and I see the view from that top balcony down to and I can't believe I was a part of that.
We're such basic white girls, but let me just say this really quick. Take me back.
Take me
back. Okay.
All right, here is how I am viewing my just personal journey with fitness and health in general. And I just don't believe that it's about grinding 24/7. I think it's more about strategic self-care. I value self-care as much as I value my workouts. It's just really important to me. And I think it's really important to implement into not just working out, but taking care of yourself. And that is where Alo moves come in. Now, it is my secret weapon for staying centered and strong with this whole workout journey. I haven't wanted to look a certain way. I just want to feel strong. And so whether it's a morning meditation or evening stretch, Alo Moves has everything I need right there to reset and still conquer my day. Now, whether you're just starting out, like for me, and for instance, like I didn't work out my whole life. Like I just started a couple years ago, or whether you're super advanced, they have classes from 5 minutes to an hour. Now, that's like really going to be great for my schedule personally. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I just want to show up for like, I don't know, 15 minutes because that's all I have time to do. And sometimes I have a full hour to dedicate to this. So I love that they have so many different classes that range from 5 minutes to an hour. And if you want a serious sweat session, you guys, their award-winning workouts are insane. They've got like these intense yoga flows. Then they've got HIIT. Like these HIIT classes are not messing around. And of course, Pilates. Add weights if you're feeling strong. I actually tend to do add weights because we have this gym at our house, so it's just really easy to do that. But it's not all about sweating, you know? Sometimes you just need that quiet moment, some meditation, some face yoga, some gua sha. Honestly, I was like trying to find too many videos online of gua shaing, and I just really appreciate the one that they have on the Aloe Moves. It's so good. It's just your complete wellness toolkit. They have everything, not to mention sleep. Now, when we talk about self-care, to me, sleep is the top of that list, okay? Because it is just as crucial to me as my workout routine. It's just how you recharge and recover, and I think it's really important. So Aloe Moves has this like Art of Sleep series that is really, really transformative. I mean, they have so many things. If you click on the different tabs, they have like fitness, they've got running, sculpt, strength, stretching, walking. If you click on wellness, they have so many options for nutrition, personal growth, self-care, sleep, nutrition, so many things, running, yoga. They have a million different yoga classes. I don't even know what they mean. So if you're a yogi, like the options are there. They have so many. So I just love that. So if you guys want to reset your personal wellness routine with Aloe Moves, go to aloemoves.com now and use code PROBABLY for an exclusive 30-day free trial and enjoy 20% off of an annual membership. So that is aloemoves.com, code PROBABLY. aloemoves.com, code PROBABLY.
There were a lot of questions, of course. We'll do a quick little parlay. Okay. So this is a question that I got from someone that said, this is from a 17-year-old girl. And she said,
you got it, girl. First and foremost,
you got it, girl. She said, reflecting on your 20s, what advice would you give to your younger self? XOXO, a 17-year-old girl.
You know what? I think because I know that shaped so much of me having a child at 14. Imagine that. But I always just knew like my path immediately looked different than everybody else's. So it really helped me use that as a crutch when comparisons started happening. I know that like, and Annica's in that point now where like you turn 18 and somebody's going to this type of school. Somebody's choosing not to go to school. Somebody's doing this. People are for the first time not having 8 periods a day together.
Yeah.
Or people don't have a structure that people do get to start doing different things with their life.
That is so true. I never thought about that.
It happens again right after college because then you've got the people that did, that have those jobs that right after 4 years of it, they have that degree that they worked for. But then you have the people that don't get to do that. Then you have the people. So there's so many people are going to be in different phases of their life from here on out.
All right, preach. I'm
from here on out.
I'm 31 years old. I'm like, such a good point about your 20s.
Well,
not my 20s
look
anymore.
At me. I'm now 33 and I have like I don't have a kid that I'm taking care of every single. My life looks so different than other
your friends and 31-year-olds. That's such a good point. So like basically you're just saying like try as hard as you can to recognize that.
It's
and to
your
not compare.
circumstance. Yes. So whatever path you choose, you are able to like also agree because then you're like at the point where you can take so many different paths and then you can look back. I look back now and think even what if we would have gone to a different college? What if I would have done this different? And your path is going to be your path, It's
true. It's made for you. It's meant for you. And all the zigzags along the way, like we could both sit here and be like, and this person didn't do this until they were that age, but it's like all of the age old things. But it's a good point to think about 18-year-olds. Really, when you enter your 20s, you're going to see a lot of different phases of your friends' lives. All my friends really went to a 4-year school, graduated and had jobs right after college, whether they were nurses. And then you climb that ladder and then they get their master's or their MP. And then, I had other friends who did corporate jobs and then they just climbed by the time I was 27 and really just kind of starting out my life with like making money. They were really high up on the corporate ladder as far as like grinding since they were 22.
Yep.
So
or people that do like that know what they want to do from 18 to 24 or in different spots than even people that are successful right out of college. Like
it's so true.
It's just every path's going to be different.
It's
so
true.
You can't compare even to people that like you graduated with. Like this is y'all are done being kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. Y'all are no longer doing the same 8 periods a day doing the same stuff. You're so right. Preach. I really love that. That's incredible. I'm going to like remind myself to go back and listen to that moment. Okay. Love that. You're so insightful, Jennica.
I'm just a mom.
She's just a mom. Okay. Talk about raising a daughter specifically.
Yeah. It's wow. It has been such a truly fun, like 18 years. It now is getting even more fun again. So I'm like excited again, but let me just tell you.
Talk about what you said the other day. You said,
what did I say?
You said, I never thought about this. I've always thought.
Oh, yeah. So being 14, like I really did I was like, I'm going to be 18 and she's going to be 4. I'm going to be 21. She's going to be, I always knew like kind of those ages. And I finally was like, I'm going to be 32 when she's 18. And that felt so fun. And that felt so right. Never even considered like how old I'd be when she was 20. Never considered that when she was 30, I was going to be 44. That's kind of the same age.
Never considered that when she's 40, she's going to be 54. By the way, my mom has friends. My mom's 60. She's 60. She has friends that are 50. When I tell you like 50, 48, I think they're the same age. No shade to my mom's friends that they're younger, but like they're the same age.
I used to work in an eye doctor's office. And one time this was core memory for me, speaking of. I remember getting up because I saw someone like a older lady with another older lady, and they were just helping each other out. One of them was in a wheelchair, so I went, of course, to get the door, got them in. I was working the front desk, so I was getting them checked in. Genuinely, they just looked like two besties helping each other out.
Yeah.
I started doing the paperwork. Is this HIPAA? I don't work there anymore. But,
you don't say too much.
Listen, but it was mother-daughter, and the mom was still taking care of the daughter, and they were just.
But at some point, everybody looked like old ladies.
And I said, "Oh, there I am."
At some point, like, you think, like, when she's 25 and you're 42, like, I'm sorry, like, things just start kind of
being the same.
Being the same. Okay, so anyways, back to your point. You said raising a daughter's been so fun.
Yeah, I will say third grade was my favorite for some reason.
Okay.
I just randomly remember like having so much fun because she was just so fun, like her own person, had her own opinions, but still so like needs my loves, was so fun and just a kid. And like I also like am such a romanticizer of everything. Everything in our house was romanticized.
Right.
Our Elf on the Shelf, our Valentine's Days, like it was all just.
And Annica, I can say this, it's also in episode 33 if you want to listen. You didn't grow up very similarly. We just didn't grow up with a lot. You way more than me because I was not supporting a child. I was a child, but like you made Annica grew up with not much, but I know Annica would say she grew up rich.
Yeah.
You know,
we truly had like little to nothing, but it never felt like that because we truly always did have each other, and I just we were always having so much fun. But those people get scared of like the 16 to 18 of it all, and they're kind of back to normal people at that age. From about 11 to 13, you're not living with the same person that you know.
You know, my mom almost sent me away.
It is really, now it is, I will say.
7th grade.
It is very easy as a parent. It's easier than people think to look at that kid and go, oh, they're just being a crazy 18.
Yeah,
they're just being a 13-year-old right now. Like that brings me, I had to tell myself so often, like, you're not crazy. She's 13. You're not crazy. She's 13.
She's not even crazy. She's just 13.
She's nothing's wrong with either of us. Imagine being 13.
Literally, no, my mom, if she could have afforded it, she would have sent me away.
I mean, imagine being even 17 right now. I'm good. So that was fun to get through. But then now I feel like I'm on like the other, like I've got such a little like bestie, and it is, we still have the boundaries of
course, mother-daughter,
but it's just becoming even more fun.
I love that. Now we've never really talked about this before. We've always been very, very respectful. It's been hard. But we've always been very respectful, and something that I admire about you, and I'm going to say this now, that I have the opportunity to and have gotten permission to.
The floor is yours.
With co-parenting, I've always known a lot, right? You and I have been friends for a long time.
You know it all.
I know. Yeah, it all.
You've seen it.
I've seen it all, and I know it all, right? And I have very strong opinions about it. And something that I couldn't comprehend at the time in my early 20s that you did, and this just goes to show how immature I was and how mature you were. I couldn't comprehend. I understood it, right? Yeah. That you would never tell Annica anything because there was, you would say like she deserves to have her thoughts about her dad. She deserves to have her relationship with her father. I would never.
Well, I didn't know who he was to her.
Right.
I only knew how he was treating me. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said I would never. And I'm like, gosh, don't you ever just want to like with random stuff that he wouldn't do for her that really only you knew. She wasn't privy to, but you were like, wow, he's literally not doing this, or things he would take you to court for that she wasn't privy to, I'm like, gosh, like, how is it not possible for you just to like say like, because she would come home just raving about
or be mad at me, or I'd have to take the brunt of it,
and you just took it, and I was like, do you not ever just want to be like, you actually don't know the whole truth? And you were like, no, I will never do that to her. I will never, ever, ever. If he wants to show her a version of him or who he is or who he, like, that is that's her right, and that's their relationship. And I will never touch it with a 10-foot pole. And you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. You still haven't. Yeah. And I honestly, like, I won't get emotional, but I could get emotional at the things you've taken, the things you've done. And you've just been so strong and so mature through it all. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that my parents were never together, but they were always like the best of friends. Like, there was always respectable, always nice. Like, I never saw them bicker and fight. And so I think that that's kind of like what I expected. So when that wasn't the case for me, it was like devastating. So it was like, I was also like learning that this was not going to be an option for me while trying to figure out. My parents never talked bad about each other. Like, but truly the only thing that my mom would say is like, you got your dad's big mouth, loud mouth. And even that like hurt my feelings, which I do today. I got my dad's big mouth. I'm loud as fuck because of my dad. But I never even wanted that kind of negativity. Like, I just didn't want any sort of, I knew that if, like, he could show whatever type of person he wanted to be. Because at the end of the day, I say this all the time, I don't know that man. Yeah. I know how he treated me the last 18 years. We've not had conversations. We've not even spoken in years at this point now, but I only know how he's treating me, and I only know how he continues to treat my daughter.
Yeah, I'm sorry to this man, but I do not know this man.
I do not know this man. Honestly, it might take me a minute to recognize him.
Okay, I know everyone is talking about dry January. Well, guess what? I'm doing wet January, and that means I am forcing myself this new year's resolution, new year, new me. I gotta drink water. I gotta drink more water, okay? Wet January is in effect. And I'm just not good at it. I'm not good at drinking water. So the thing that helps me the most is Gatorade Hydration Booster, because that is gonna put your water to work, okay? It's gonna help you maintain that resolution of drinking more water, because it truly does increase your daily hydration. And also, it's Gatorade. You know, they're the masters of water and sports hydration. And so to know that you're using a brand that just works is fantastic. So if you want to incorporate something new into your fitness routine, your clean eating, you know, maybe you are doing dry January, the real one, then like really add Gatorade Hydration Booster to your routine to increase that hydration. James calls me a camel because like I just straight up don't drink enough water. And I'm really, really trying to get better about that. So I have decided this year it's on with the water intake. Okay. And formulated specifically for all day, always on hydration, Gatorade Hydration Boost really is the best. It's got this like advanced blend of electrolytes, and it's derived from watermelon, sea salt, and other sodium and potassium salts. So that's really cool because it's got packed full of essential vitamins A, C, B3, B5, B6, like literally all of it, but it does not have no artificial flavors, no sweeteners, no added color. It just helps you keep you at your best no matter what your day throws at you. You always need more water. You know, we always have someone in our life that you say you have a headache, they're like, have you drank enough water? You say, you know, you got bad credit score, they're like, have you drank enough water? Like we need to be drinking more water. Okay. So this product is for the person like me, maybe who doesn't drink enough water, or maybe just someone who's really busy and forgets to drink water. Okay, you've been neglecting your hydration. This helps put your water to work and really get you those electrolytes and vitamins that you need to be your best. And here's the kicker. It has less sodium, sugar, and calories than Liquid IV. Like if you're a fan of them, I'm sorry, like Gatorade Hydration Booster is just better. I feel so much better drinking it throughout the day. So put your water to work, baby. Get Gatorade Hydration Booster and meet your new go-to for all day, always on hydration.
If you feel comfortable speaking on it, whenever she turned 18, you decided. Talk about, you know, maybe some advice for someone who might be going through the same thing. Yeah. You just talked about something that really helped you, and it's a tiny thing.
Tiny things. That's what really I think I like to find the joys in life and find the little tiny things to get through. And I think two of the best things that I did that got me through these 18 years, because there's a lot, I have not talked about it, but I know that the things that I've been through could help so many. And I know that 100%. So many women are also in parenting and co-parenting situations like that. Like it truly is not all easy afterwards. Right. And most of the time, in fact, it's quite opposite of that. Yeah. So the first one was actually from my boss that like, truly, she changed my life. I hope everybody has a boss that like helps them and guides them like Miss Melinda did for me. But I was going through something one time very, very traumatic with him. And I was in her living room and I was just sobbing, and she was helping me figure it out. And I mean, it was really, really, really a terrible situation. And he texted me and his name popped up on my phone, and she looked at me and she said, delete his name out of your phone.
Because of the physical reaction
just because I looked at my phone and like even seeing his name, like just was like, ugh. And I was so upset in the moment right then because of him too. And she said, you don't even need to see his name in you don't deserve to see that name. Yeah. And so I deleted the name, and also for court, it also made it easier for screenshots and stuff.
So true.
to help.
That
so
is
it just
his number, I promise.
He was never, and it might sound so dumb, but like it was so like freeing. Cathartic. And it felt like almost like one of the only things that I almost was able to like
the power over.
Yeah, control. Because that was kind of the name of the game. But anyway, the second thing for sure was it was just never a situation that there was never anywhere we were going to get like arguing wise. Like there was no co-parenting. I know people talk about parallel parenting. Yeah. That's kind of like I was doing my own parenting and there was no parenting together. Like it was very against each other almost. Yes. Like it was very...
The differences were stark.
Were stark. And so there wasn't anything... Arguing was never going to get us anywhere, and I learned that very early on. But there was also times and things that I really didn't give a fuck what he was doing to me at the end of the day. Like, I stopped caring about that a long time ago. It's when he started like doing things to like affect my daughter. I'm always going to stand up for Annica. I never wanted her to like suffer the punishment of like his mom or like her mom.
Punish her for your actions.
Yeah. So I just, every now and then when really shitty things would happen, I would just take to my notes, and I would, for the last like 6 years, go to my notes and say everything that I wanted to say to him. And I then, in a week or two, when I had a fun, clear mind, I'd go back in there and I'd say, let's just pretend. And it really, truly was, I had the intention, like, I'm going to send this to him one day. Every time I was in there, and on her 18th birthday.
On her 18th birthday, she sent this text to him.
I woke up and I was like, I'm going to send it. And I was like, I don't want to think about him today.
Yeah. It's my daughter's 18th birthday.
So he got it the next day.
The next day, I had read this message about 7 different versions, 20 different times.
Throughout the years, yeah.
Because you'd be like, look at it now. And I'd read it, I'd be like, I'd cry every time. I'd be like, so fucking good every time. Like, so true. But we'll also talk about the part where he would let her cheerlead. Like, like, things he took from her that, like, no man should take from a little girl. Like, little things. And so, I'm sorry, am I allowed to say that?
No,
like,
I mean...
really just things that are crazy.
Anyways. Things that you just can't comprehend.
You can't. That a man would treat his daughter that way. Anyways, now that Annica's more mature and she's able to have her own opinions and, I don't want to say see the light, but see things that we saw that you never told her, but she was just able to see on her own. Yeah, I feel more comfortable saying these things, but I think with that text message, like every time I read it, I just was like, oh, and we all said to you, like, you don't have to send this if you don't want to send this. And you're like, yeah, maybe I will, maybe I won't, whatever. So the day after Annica's birthday, you send it. The number one thing, because Annica knew about this text message.
Right. The only thing that she wanted to be, she wanted to be able to say, like,
I don't, read it.
She was like, I don't want to know what's, like, I know that you, and I want you to say whatever you feel like you need to say, but like, I don't want to know what's in it. And I said, exactly.
Jennica, respect. Jennica did, respectfully, you're not invited to this. Anyways, Jennica did not like say like, I've got this text message I've been writing for like, she just said,
well, I was also wanted to make sure she was okay with it. Yeah. And she was like, girl, say what you want to say.
Say what you want to say to him, but I don't want to read it and I don't want to see it. And she maintained that. So the first thing that happened when you sent the text message.
Oh, I sent the text and then I had my little group message of girlies that I finally said like, we did it, girls. Y'all, I was not even... my toe was not... and the text message, I added a blurb to the very top that said... because I knew I didn't want him getting mad at Annica immediately. But 2 messages or 2 sentences in. So I said, Annica does not know what this says.
Nor does she want to.
Like, let me just actually...
let's just read that top blurb.
What did it say? Verbatim.
Let's go ahead and pull that up.
The beginning of it says... okay.
So you can edit it or you can speak your truth.
So the first, we'll have to leave a lot of it out, but it says, the last thing I want to be doing right now is sending this to you, but I promised myself that I would say what I've always wanted to the day I finally made it to this freedom. Annica doesn't have a clue what this says, so before you get pissy, let's be a big boy and not take our feelings out on our daughter. Smiley face.
Yeah, like she didn't want to know what this said. She does not know what this says. Correct.
Yes, so, and then before I had even put a toe on the ground to then start my day, I hear, Mom!
He sent her the whole message.
He just copied and pasted and sent it to Annica.
Cool.
She was like, I still don't want to read it.
Yeah, she obviously still didn't read it.
No.
Like, she deleted it immediately. Like, what a literal immature little child. Like,
yeah, I'm like, that's exactly actually the
yeah,
well,
odd part.
I had still a little nerves because I mean, truly, this is how I feel about you, and it's like I've never talked about him because I'm a true Southerner. At the end of the day, if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, and there's simply nothing to say.
Okay, it's still really cold out, and I feel like when it's really cold out, I'm just tending to get real lax with my diet. I just want comfort foods, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but that happens more when you're hanging out with your friends. Hanging out with your friends, you're chilling at home, it's cold out, and all that eating and drinking can start to take a toll. Yes. And I can always tell when my body is desperately craving a reset. Like, you just know. When you're like, I need to do a detox or reset right now. Prolon by L Nutra does just that, which I love. Prolon's 5-day program gives my system a break. Now, it's fasting, but with food. Because when I first heard about fasting in general, I was like, oh, that's not going to work for me. But if you're telling me I'm going to fast with food, that's a game changer. So full disclosure, I've never been really good at like sticking with something, but this was actually really easy to stick to, mostly because Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is revolutionary. Like it's plant-based nutrition and it's a program that nourishes your body while making cells believe they're fasting. I'm all about tricking my cells here. So researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading US medical centers, Prolon helps support healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus post-fast. Now, I really could tell a difference in my focus. I just felt so clear-headed, clear-minded. I feel like my skin looked better from just eating better and having this cleanse. And it all starts with their 5-day program. So you have snacks, you have soups, you got beverages. You really don't ever feel, I never felt that like intense hunger because they really do take care of you. It's designed to keep your body in a fasting state, but you don't have to have that guesswork or any planning required, which is a relief after the busy holiday season where you're just doing a million things you don't want to think, okay? So these 3 consecutive cycles of Prolon have been shown to reduce your biological age score by an average of 2.5 years. All right. And your waist circumference by 1.5 inches. That is just amazing. So if you guys want to help kickstart a new health plan that truly works, Prolon is offering Probably Podcast listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day nutrition program. So you just have to visit prolonlife.com/probably. That's PROLONLIFE.com/probably to claim your 15% off discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/probably.
Listen, we don't even have to harp on this because one, I don't want to fucking talk about him. And two, like he has his own life and he might be a different person in his own life. And who knows?
Truly don't know him.
We do not know this man, but we know how he treated you and we know how he treated your daughter and that's all we can go off of. But I will say that one, him sending it immediately to her speaks volumes. And then two, we were on my bachelorette, which she must have turned 18 the year right before.
Right. The month. I mean, that yeah. Like a month before. Yes.
And
no, not even that. Yeah.
We were telling maybe one of my really, really good friends, Brantley, was asking about co-parenting. We were kind of just talking about it. We're just a couple.
Most of the girlies know.
Most of the girlies know. And my bachelorette trip had dwindled down to only 4 people at that time. And so it was just me, Anna Grace, Brantley, and Jennica in the car, Bella. And we were in this we were in this Uber. Now, this man was driving us. Picture like the most bohemian man, like manly man.
I mean, 6'5", would you say?
6'5", big man, okay? And just like your classic bohemian guy that was just like, of course, so sweet to us, but like very much, like we felt very safe with him, Like he was kind of actually touring us around.
He was wonderful.
He was in a tux, everything. So anyways, he must have been listening when you read this message out to Brantley. And I could be stereotypical here for a second. One might think that he might be listening like women. Yeah. Women always gonna be fucking ripping on men. Like, oh, it's always the guy's fault. This driver turned around at a stop sign. Literally, all 4 of us crying in the car. He turns around. He said, I don't mean to intrude or listen. I mean, we were probably screaming the message, by the way. So he wasn't he wasn't intruding.
He was not. Listen, we were forcing him.
We were basically forcing him into the conversation. But he was like, I could get emotional. I got tears in my eyes. And he turned around. He had tears in his eyes. He said, I have a daughter. I'm not, with her mother anymore. He said, the way you treat women, he said, that is not how you treat women. He was just like, he went on and on. He said, I'm broken hearing this. He said, I can't even believe, because of course the text message detailed a lot of things and instances. And he was just like, the way you raise your daughter, daughters are different. You treat your daughter. And like this grown man, really, I'm sorry to keep bringing up his size, but this huge man was just like, tearing up over this. And I was just like, first of all, just like really restored my faith in men. Yeah. Like I loved that.
Well, it really did. And I immediately blocked him before he could even, like I sent the text and then I blocked him.
Not the driver.
Baby daddy. Obviously not. Yes. I'm like, you know what?
You're blocked.
You're blocked. No, I immediately blocked him. So like,
you couldn't respond.
But I think what got the driver is this last. Are
you going to read the last part?
Just the last little bit.
Okay.
I've always held back from what I wanted to say to you or about you solely for the sake of my child, but you have caused my daughter more heartbreaks than any other person ever will. For that, I will never forgive you. I hope she never meets another man who treats her like her father does. And then, because we raised a Swiftie, in plain sight you hid, you are what you did. I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive the smallest man who ever lived.
Always makes me cry. Literally.
Done.
That was that on that. Yeah. Why does Taylor Swift part always make me get emotional?
It felt as good. So truly, if you are in a situation where it's not even gonna work, but I felt like I needed to stand up for my daughter at the end of the day. Like my daughter deserved somebody to say, even though you are her father, you're not allowed to treat her like this.
Yeah.
And
maybe
that's what I did.
Maybe you never feel the need to do that. Maybe you just think they'll reap what they sow, whatever, and that's you. But if you feel like that will give you a release, because I know that genuinely gave you, you never fought back.
And for those years, I was fine.
You never did anything. For 18 years, you never fought back. You laid down every single time just to make it easier for Annica. And so
got fucked over time and time again.
So many times you got fucked over. And so I think for you, it really mattered that for that last moment, you got to take your power back.
Yeah.
And that's really beautiful.
And truly just be done, because I'm
done. See you at the wedding.
Like, this could have been so easy.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy this could have been? We could have been friends.
Yeah.
But it's just it wasn't a possibility. And sometimes as hard as it could have been for you, and like I want, but it just realistically at the end of the day was never going to be an option.
And I think that's also a good reminder to people, like, don't get caught up in seeing all the e-news articles and all the glossy articles. It's like, we co-parent, we love it, we're best friends.
Yes.
Like, sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's okay.
I know. I feel like I'm just now seeing let's hope it doesn't happen a lot, but I am starting to see some of my friends then now become single moms, and it's like, the advice I want to give them immediately is the moment that you realize just all the love that you would have poured into that religious, start pouring it into your child. And like the love which I didn't want a romantic relationship, but I found that in girlfriends. Like if you do find whatever kind of relationship you're going to need to build your village, like you will find and you will be able to build. Like you don't need it to be a certain person. you build your own, and your village changes. Like it is what you build it, and
it's true.
You can get through.
I just want to be like Drew Barrymore in this moment. I just want to sit so close to you and just like put my like body on your body and just like be like, it's so true. We found our romantic relationships in our girlfriends.
I mean, it truly, like all my girlfriends helped raise AJ. I
love that girl.
You included.
I love that girl.
She's the best. And she has now I'll start crying. Like she's even like, and I never even had any expectation, or like I never even thought when people say, where's she going to go to school? Like wherever she wants to go. Like whatever she wants to do is what she's going to do. So I never even really had much like of my own dreams for her, but she's like exceeded who she is to her core is like a good person and like a hardworking person.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
You're
a kind
You're
person.
Literally so cool. Like you're the best.
Giving, cool.
She's the
fun,
best.
Hilarious, hardworking. Oh, I love that
and
girl.
her parents were literally 14 and 15 when she was born.
No. And her parents were 14 and 15.
The TikTok trend right now, it's like, I'm funny. Yeah, thanks. My parents were they weren't even in high school yet.
You're funny. Thanks. My parents had me when they were 14 and 15.
Thanks. My mom's first birthday before she got pregnant was SpongeBob themed.
Okay, if you are ready to optimize your nutrition this year, which I feel like we're all trying to be better, okay? Factor, my favorite. I love Factor. I've been using Factor for so long. They have chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. That's all I need. I need it to be easy, okay? They are dietitian approved and they're ready to heat up and eat in 2 minutes. Like literally 2 minutes. That's a game changer for me. You can fuel right away and feel great no matter what life throws at you. And it's a busy season for me. So Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks. Like that's just crazy when you use Factor's keto meals. Based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results will vary depending on your diet and exercise, but like that's just amazing. And they have 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week. So you're not going to get bored. They have so many options. It's not like the same thing every week. You truly do get to change it up. And it's really easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. So you can choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. You know James loves the Protein Plus ones, okay? Factor can help you feel your best all day long. They've got wholesome smoothies, they've got breakfast, they've got grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. I just love Factor meals so much. They genuinely are so delicious. So if you guys want to reach your goals this year with ingredients that you can trust, I mean, that's the big thing right now. I feel like we're all talking about what kind of ingredients are going in our food, and Factor makes that easy because they are ingredients that you can trust and convenience that just can't be beat, okay? So if you guys want to eat smart with Factor, you can get started at factormeals.com/probably50off and use code probably50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code probably50off at factormeals.com/probably50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
All right, I have a couple more questions, but I do just have to like note this one more time. I don't know if we brought it up in episode 33, but one of my favorite funny jokes that you make about being pregnant at 14 and not knowing until you were like 6.5 months pregnant. So obviously, you guys, when she found out she was 6.5 months pregnant, Annica was a whole baby.
Like, just like fully, we found out it was a girl that night.
They were like she's like waving.
She was like, please stop, go and doing back handsprings.
Yeah, so Jennica was still cheerleading at her school, and the way she found out was actually like a rumor at her school started that she was pregnant. She was like, I couldn't be pregnant, I've literally never had sex. So
yeah, I need to like sit down with those girls and be like, wait, so tell me, I think maybe his friends knew or something. I still to this day, like really truly people just like once they were dating over a year in a small town, you're having sex.
Yeah. And I think that's just one of those things, like, she's pregnant, they're having sex, and it's like you half the time, not even half the time, 90% of the time you're wrong, but there's that 10% time that you're right.
You just couldn't look at me and tell. Like, and people would be like, yeah, you could. No, you couldn't.
You can post a picture and you can literally see that she's like in her tiny little cheerleading outfit, and she's 13 years old. You got pregnant at 13. You had her at 14. And I mean, it's so funny when she's like, by the time we saw Annica's little face on the ultrasound, she was a whole baby. She's just waving at me like, Mom, stop doing back handsprings. Stop going to the tanning bed, please.
It was 2006.
Listen,
I was
honey,
a teenager. What option did I have?
I had 2 memberships, so I could go within the 24-hour time frame. And my mom thought I was a genius for that, by the way.
I mean, and I was tan.
And I was tan.
And I was tan.
And look at that beautiful girl.
I know.
Everything's okay.
Wonderful.
You guys, listen. She was eating turkey sandwiches every day.
It's literally going to be fine. I was
go to the
catching
tanning bed.
girls like, maybe we're not doing that anyway.
Yeah.
But I was having like even tuna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was no prenatal care for the first 2 trimesters. I also obviously don't recommend that. Listen, this is.
Well, Taylor can't take a prenatal because she just throws it up and is so sick. So, like,
okay.
She
says, but I mean, like, no prenatal care.
Oh, yeah.
No,
like,
word.
No, like, I wasn't doing literally anything you're supposed to do. No. That's so true. You're like, I also wasn't drinking because I was 13, so that's good.
But you know what? I have been kind of like, as you get older, you do start realizing like the sad things of it all. And like the books that I was like excited, it did all just feel like homework to me.
Yeah.
And I was good at like everything that I absorbed so much knowledge, and I really did like learn how to become a mom very easily because I was so fun at learning, but it was also because I was literally in high school and that's what my job was learning. Yeah,
you're like, what to expect? What expecting? I got it.
Oh, I was like, is this a library book? Can I get points for this?
Cliff notes, no problem. I'll write them. Wow. Okay, someone wanted to know this, and I think this is a great question because you are so uplifting and positive. Someone said, how does she stay so uplifting and positive? Especially now maybe knowing a little peek into her life, not always being so easy co-parenting, parallel parenting. How do you manage to stay so uplifting and positive?
Well, I do have anxiety and depression, so like it's a constant battle every day. Yeah, I'm like, you got to stay here, girl. And I do just see the joy. Like it always just could be worse. Even in my, like, I just knew it really could. Like I was sitting at the food stamps office hoping that we could get help, but also so was that, like, there's always going to be somebody that looks at you and says like, if I could just get there, like, and I knew that I still, even though my circumstance like wasn't like, maybe I wasn't dealt the best cards, like it still wasn't like I still was doable, like it still was fine, like I still did have this beautiful, wonderful child, like I still do have these opportunities, I still do have this life, like I still have this, so it's not the end of the world. It could have you just do get to make the choices. So I just chose to always like choose the joy, because otherwise
what was the other option?
I mean, I cry too much anyway. Like I cry over like the happy stuff. I'm like, I'm not one of those that like can put on a sad show for fun. Like that'll destroy me. So I can't
I can't do it. I chose to save myself.
In fun time. Like I can't do it. Hard line, stop.
Okay, and then this question, I love asking this question. Okay, well, first of all, everyone wants to know your chicken pot pie recipe. Do you have it somewhere?
Honestly,
Jenica always
if you look up
me a chicken pot pie.
Yeah, chicken pot pie Jennica. It's in some of the vlogs. Like it's always pinned in the recipe.
Okay,
it's the easiest. Like it's a can of veg all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can do it fun and homemade and whatever, but sometimes you're a single mom on a strict freaking schedule and your daughter's sick and her favorite thing's chicken pot pie, and you had to figure out how to make one for cheap and easy and quick. I get the pie crust rolls from the Pillsbury. It comes with 2. You put 1 on the pie thing.
Sharon K swears by those.
Veg all. You mix a can of cream of chicken. You mix a can of cream of celery. All that together. Put it on the pie. Oh, chicken, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
You can get, I usually just like baked chicken, but you can do rotisserie chicken. You can do chicken from a can. Any type of chicken, pour it in there. And then put the pie on the top.
And
that's
then if
literally
you're
it. Salt and pepper and stuff, whatever seasonings you want.
If you're a slay queen like Jennica, then you make really cute artwork on top.
I love doing. That's like one of my like mom. Please use that.
Yeah.
It's such a mom thing, I think, to like when your kids are sick to do like little hearts and stuff on their chicken pot pies, or like I'll put like Annica's. I always make her one for her birthday with her age on it and stuff.
Her age.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a birthday cake in my dreams. Okay, and then final question: what's your death row meal?
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Period.
Yeah.
Just Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving dinner is my like. Also,
I've actually never heard someone say that as their death row meal.
Let's throw in something buffalo, like maybe something an appetizer.
I was gonna say appetizer,
but Thanksgiving dinner is my shit.
Yeah, I mean,
from start to finish.
I agree. By the way, I've just never heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
so
it's everything that I do want. Like, no, as a whole, like anything Asian is my like favorite.
Oh, same.
Like
same sushi.
Favorite.
We eat sushi every day of our lives.
Ramen, any type of hibachi. I mean, that could be every meal. But if I had just one,
just that Thanksgiving.
It's gonna be Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, I love that answer. I love you more than anything in this world. We'll have you back before another 100 episodes. Okay.
And truly, this is one of the best people in my life. I mean, I know that she's been gassing me up, and I have been taking it. But I will say that, like, truly, like, my life has only gotten better from being friends with you.
I'll cry. Don't do it to me.
I love you so much.
I love you. Bye. Bye.